Hey kids, good morning. Happy Monday. I'm making this video like I do every Monday for note cards. Yeah, surprise, right? All right, but graphing. This week we're gonna be doing a lot of the tables that we did last week and the pattern recognition, like making tables, making patterns this week. But we're also gonna be doing graphing with that information. So I have a couple of tasks where you're going to use Desmos, which is another program where you hop into it and can like plot points and look at them. So what I want to do is just do a quick review on graphing this week. Nothing crazy here, but I'm doing a little bit of like basic graphing with my fifth graders. So I'm going to show you that one, and then we're going to come back to this one. My fifth grade one that I showed them was here, and what we talked about in that video or in that kind of plan is just this idea that X is always horizontal, right? It's always the bottom. The pink is horizontal here. So the first number is always the X, right? So if you graph 3 and then you graph 3 and 5, you go over to the 3, you move up to the 5, and you get here and you get this point, right? So I was trying to get across to them this idea that where all the numbers are positive, what you do is you always take the first number, that's your X. That's always on your horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. And the Y, the second number, is always your up and down, right? So you're going across first and then up and down. This was the fifth grade one, though, so you don't have to copy that down. But I do want you to copy down the sixth grade one, which is this one, which is a little more complicated. Once again, I make it clear you move horizontal first and then vertical for the second number. And what I think is important here is that when we graph negative numbers, like what's different for you guys on your graph and your note card, is I want you showing all four quadrants. Like for the fifth graders, I focused mostly just on the positive quadrant, like moving this way and then that way, so you're always up here. That's quadrant one. But for you guys, we're getting into both how the number line goes forward and backward, right? Like that x-axis goes from 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, but it also goes backwards to -1, -2, -3, right? So it's a full number line, just like you see in the back of my wall at school. I have like a number line, and like every number line you've probably looked at since you were in like third or fourth grade would show you those negative numbers. And same thing on the y-axis. If you notice at 0, the origin, right, the starting point, it goes up positive 1, 2, 3, going up, but then going down, kind of like if you're going below the water or below sea level or below 0 on a temperature gauge, it goes -1, then -2, -3, and it goes that way. So what you find is if you have two negative numbers, like point B, for instance, right, -2, -3, you're going to end up in this quadrant. You're down in quadrant 3, so quadrant 1, 2, 3. And quadrant 3, that means what you do, Bill, it's still the same process. You move horizontal first. So if I'm graphing point B, I go back 2 spaces to -2. And then I go down 3 spaces to -3. So you're always going horizontal first, right? And then you're going vertical with the second number. So what I think are the hardest ones are when the numbers don't have end on 0. So the 0 numbers are difficult because it's just kind of like a little bit harder to get your head around it. But if you take the same pattern, horizontal first. So if you see the 2, you count 2 over. And now vertical. Well, there's nowhere to go vertical because it's 0. I keep it right there, right? So that's point C. So I want you taking this note, make it look nice, make it look just like this, and that'll be great. It's easy, pretty simple. The hardest part, I think, is setting up the graph. And I always use the lines on my line paper or my note card. I always try to use the lines that are already given to me to keep it even. I also, when I'm going on the x-axis where I don't have equal lines, I try to make them as even as possible. So from 0 to 1, from 1 to 2, and from 2 to 3, they all look about the same. My negative numbers got a little bit more stretched out, more so I could show that they're negative, but they should be the same distance generally, right? So you want all of your units to be moving at the same rate. And one more time, just to remind you, the x-axis is here, the y-axis is here. Okay, so what I want you to do in your notebook then, the practice problems, let me find them. Are they here? No. I have a whole bunch of these. Okay, this is what I did with the fifth graders, where I showed them how to graph things in the first quadrant, and you always move horizontal first. So over to 5, up to 8, right? Over to 3, up to 2, like right here, 3, 2, the purple one. So that's kind of what I did there. If you want to pause the video and look at this and study it, great, and learn it a little better. What I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to back up to your assignment. What I'd like you to do today in your notebook, I want you to draw this graph. It's all positive. This is easy. I'm giving you easy stuff here, right? It's just drawing a positive graph up to 10 in both directions, x-axis and y-axis. And what I'd like you to do is graph these 10 points in order. So starting with 3, 1, which I graphed for you, I went over 3, up 1, put a dot, and then 4, 3, and over 4, up 3. And I want you to connect each one. So draw a line in your notebook. After you graph it, draw a line between it. And there's like a secret thing in here hidden in this. After you graph all of this, you'll have this kind of like, image of something. So I want you to see if you can figure out what it is. If you graph all the points correctly, it should be pretty clear what it is. And then connect all the dots, including in order. So connect 3, 1 to 4, 3. When you get 4, 3, you'll be up here. So you connect that with a line, draw a line on your notebook, and keep going. Keep connecting each line. And then when you get to 0, 6 and graph it, come back to 3, 1 and connect those two last points. And you'll get like a closed figure. See if you can do it. Okay, so once again, just graphing today, doing this, and Khan Academy is assigned. It's pretty simple today. It's not graphing, it's other stuff, but it's mostly like how you do order of operations. So I'm kind of jumping around a lot this week. I'm using a whole bunch of stuff. That's like a little bit of this for your Mars tasks, a little bit of this for your note card, a little bit of that for your Khan Academy. So jump into that. Get your con done. Get your con done. Get your con. Did I tell you to get your con done? Be a good idea if you get your con done. That'd be a good idea. All right, kids. I will. I'm seeing some of you now, but I will see you all on Wednesday. But have a great week. Last week before spring break. Yes, that's really awesome. Always a good week. And I hope you guys are having a good day. Bye, everybody.